Hi guys and welcome back to Car Focus. In this video today I'm going to be driving the Focus RS and the Seat Leon Cupra 300, which is my daily driver, and we're going to drive them back to back. We're going to hop in the Cupra first, have a little drive up the road, and then jump in the RS, and basically I'm just going to explain how they compare, why I've got two cars, because you could say technically I only need one, which is the Cupra. The Cupra does it all, but this thing just fills a void that no other car can fill. So we'll jump in the Cupra, go for a spin, come back, hop in this, and then we'll summarise at the end. So let's get it. So first off, we're going to start with the Cupra. Now, I bought this car as a daily driver in the hope that it would kind of fulfill everything I needed it to. So it needs to be comfy, it needs to be pretty smooth, pretty modern with its tech, so just like Apple CarPlay and stuff, and just some nice creature comforts. I've got heated seats and that kind of thing, and it does all that perfectly in comfort mode or normal mode, whatever you want to call it. The suspension is nice and soft. You can cruise around with the DSG just doing the work for you, and it's perfectly fine. It's lovely, it's really nice, I love it. Perfect daily driver for me. But also it does have another side to it, which I've touched upon in previous videos. You can pop it into Sport or Cupra or individual if you want to make your own tailored setting up, and then the car does become a little bit more lively. So with this car, you don't really need a car like a Focus RS in the garage, but we'll drive the RS after this, and hopefully you'll see why I do have both. So yeah, the car is now in Cupra. Flick the gears over to manual and accelerate. You've got a hell of a lot of power there. 300 horsepower up front in the front wheels, so if my RS was standard, they'd have very similar power. I'm pretty certain this would be quite a bit quicker than a standard Mk2 Focus RS, because mine is tuned, and I really don't know which one is faster. I think the Cupra might have it. The Cupra does feel a bit stronger up to the top of the revs, but without doing like a side-by-side pull, I won't know, and it's quite hard to facilitate that, isn't it? I'd need like a runway or something. So yeah, like I say, the Cupra is doing the job very nicely. I've had it for like 8-9 months now, and there's no reason why I'd sell this car. The only reason why I would sell this car is to maybe free up some cash, buy something a bit cheaper and fettle around with that, a bit like I did with the ST I had, the Focus ST, but and then put some extra money aside. But yeah, there's literally no reason why I'd want to sell this car. It's underrated, it's great value for money, it's really quick, it's comfy, it's got all the gizmos that I need, it sounds good, it's not too modern to be dull and kind of sanitized. It's just a really nice all-round car, and I can't praise these cars enough. I don't know why more people don't buy them. Well, I'm glad more people don't buy them, because they'd be everywhere. But yeah, and in terms of its fun factor, in comparison to the RS, it's not losing that much, but they are two totally different experiences. This is quite a bit more, feels a bit kind of more clinical, a bit tighter, a bit more responsive as well. Everything's just a bit, you know, it's more modern, it's a different generation of car, so. But yeah, immediate throttle response, and the gear changes. God, this thing really does pick up some speed. It is very quick, and it always surprises me how fast it is. There's not really much on the road, normal car wise, that's faster than this. It's so fast. And the handling, so in Cupra mode, obviously the suspension stiffens up and it's got dynamic chassis control, and it really does handle the road brilliantly. You can feel the adaptive suspension working. It's got an electronic limited slip differential as well, so not quite as good as a mechanical diff, I don't think, that we've got on the RS, because that's going to be the same, it's going to have the same reaction every time, whereas this is electronic, so maybe it kind of differs slightly as it's working. But yeah, this Cupra, fantastic car. Just put it in second gear now. I'm in manual, but I'll throw it and I'll let the gearbox do the work on this occasion. Literally no drop in power between gear changes. It's pretty instant. hear the bangs and the gear change there. Very quick, and like as I say, no kind of turbo lag changing gears. It's just constant power. Shoots you down the road at a fast rate of knots. But yeah, this Cupra, if I had to lose the RS tomorrow, I'd be very, very upset, don't get me wrong, but this car, it would still give me the sense of fun and just drivability. Okay, it wouldn't be as raw as the RS, but it would still, it would do the job, even though the RS does feel a special sort of place in my heart, as cheesy as that sounds. But yeah, that's it. I think that's enough in the Cupra. You get the gist. It's very quick. It's a point and shoot kind of car. Does make fast driving a bit easier than in the RS. Bit more assisted. Obviously we have DSG. I know we can use the paddles, but it's still a lightning quick gear change, whereas in the RS you've got to physically use the manual box, so you could balls up a gear change. So not quite as rewarding as the RS, but you can get down a road very quickly, very effectively, and it's still fun. So yeah, the Cupra 300, the Mk3 Cupra 300, brilliant car. I'm loving it. There's no regrets in buying it. I intend to keep it. Yeah, so that's it. I think there's only one thing to do now, and that's to go and get the RS out the garage and have a spin in that, and then you can kind of compare my reactions, and we'll summarise at the end. So let's go and get in the RS. Here we are, guys. We're in the proper car now. We're in the RS, and my immediate thoughts getting into this car are just how much older it feels. It's pretty obvious, really. It's almost 10 years older than the Cupra. And you do feel it. It feels a lot firmer in its ride. It feels like echoey in here as well. The cabin is like a bit more sparse and spaced out than the Cupra, so it is more echoey. Obviously we've got the audible tone from the exhaust, but the car does have a tech, so... Oh, this car is just an event. Everything about it is an event, and that's why I've got it. That's why I've got it alongside the Cupra. Just the way it looks, it's an event when you see it. The way it sounds, the way it drives. Yes, it's creaking and rattling inside. It's like 13 years old now, but does that make me love it any less? No. It's just an absolute beast. And the engine is just glorious. So in terms of ride comfort and general day-to-day living, the Cupra trumps this car all day long. I've said to people when they message me saying, oh, I'm thinking of getting a Mk2 as a daily, I'm like, don't do it. Don't get a Mk2 as a daily. It's not a good daily. Cupra is a good daily. This car is just, it's not up to really daily standards now. Plus it needs looking after. They need, you know, they need a bit of TLC, bit of pampering. Obviously still use it like I do, but day to day it will just take off the shine of what the car is really made for, and it just won't be as special. But if you really want to daily it, you could. It's got a big boot. I've fitted Isofix in here so I can put my son in the back, so you can cart a child around, but my recommendation is, if you can afford it, keep it as a car that you just use purely for pleasure. So yeah, daily characteristics, the Cupra wins hands down, and that's why I've got the Cupra. But just being behind the wheel of this thing, like, I just absolutely love it. It just fills me with massive amounts of joy. Just seeing the wide arch there in the wing mirror, staring back at me, just hearing the engine sort of purring away, wanting to go. The pops from the exhaust. Got the induction from it's just you've got drama front and back, and then when you floor it, you definitely get drama from the front, because you've got a massive load of torque. I don't know how much torque this has got. I need a dynode. I have no idea how much horsepower it's got. That's a video we need to do, getting this dynode. But it's definitely got over 300, I hope. But yeah, we'll put it into third gear now. Compared to the Cupra, you put your foot down, split second, big wallop of torque. Oh my God, the big bang from the exhaust, and you've just got to really, you've got to really hang on in this car. The torque steer just feels like immense. If I take this for a proper drive, I'm gripping onto the steering wheel so tight, my hands are like red afterwards. Whereas the Cupra, it's just as fast, if not a bit quicker down the road, and that just feels a lot easier. The steering's a lot lighter, you've got your gears are attached to the steering wheel with the paddles, so it's just so simple to drive. Whereas this, you've really got to work for it. It makes you like, it wants to give you a bit of a scrap. It's like, you're not going to drive this down the road too easily. I'm going to fight you for it. You've got to earn it. So, oh guys, we've got a Mk8 Fiesta ST in front of us here, but then there's a lorry in front of that, so there'll be no action. But yeah, oh, I just love this car so much, and I love that it's a little treat for me. I'm very lucky that I take it out as and when I like, so if I have a big gap of not driving this car, when I jump back in it, it's just so good. I love the seats, I love the old school simple interior, like everything about it is just me. This car is just so me. I wanted this car from when it first came out. I've told you all this before, but I couldn't afford it. Had the Mk3, finally got to the stage in life where I could afford one, got it. And do I regret buying this and chopping in my Mk3? Hell no. I absolutely love this car. Oh, dear. It's not the fastest in the world. It's not the best handling in the world. It's one of the best looking hot hatches in the world, I will say that. But in terms of just what it offers in relation to the feel of the drive, for me, it is unbeatable. And it's a different level to the Cupra. And there are no cars like it now. They're just not making cars like this anymore. It's nice to get this car on film. I like to get this car out and get it on film for you guys, and I hope that this video will just show how much more of a connection I have with it than what I do with the Cupra. I love the Cupra. I love it. Like, every day, I love it. It's like a trusty old friend that you get along really well with, you know, you're happy to go out with, but it's not your best mate. It's a friend that you get along well with, but it's not your best mate. This car is your best mate, the one you've kind of been really close to for many years, and you just click. And it does have a long throw though. It does need a short shifter, and it does need a bit more power up top. That's where the Cupra wins the power battle, in my opinion. I think this might get going a bit quicker, but the Cupra is definitely strong through the revs towards the red line. This really doesn't handle bad for its age though. It still is pretty tight, pretty firm, pretty flat. It's quick, guys, and I love it. I love this car. Anyway, that's it. Just a quick one. Yeah, I just wanted to get across the comparison between the two, why I have both, and what jobs they fulfill. And I hope this video's made that pretty clear. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you for watching, and until the next one, take care, and I shall see you soon.